My story. My story is a bittersweet one. It is the story of a hero's journey. It is the story of a life burdened with anguish, yet the inevitable and ultimate triumph of the human spirit. As a young man out being groomed for the work of the ministry, I was a born-again Christian in the mega church. It was nice. I had a beautiful Christian wife and 2 lovely kids, and did all the things a good deacon did. But a change of events underwent. I was kicked out of church. I was excommunicated. How they say in John Wick, excommunicado. I received the right for the fellowship. Once again, my wife left. My self-esteem robbed, and I lost the steady job that I used to support my young black family. And within 3 months' time, at the tender age of 27, I found myself having landed in the psych ward of the St. Elizabeth's Hospital. But before things got better, they got worse. Oh, the tumultuous years that followed. My only comfort were the pills I swallowed. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a month, but for years I had to shoulder the fact that I was diagnosed with bipolar. Through the madness, misery, and strife, I even tried to take my own life. Then came the dawn of a new day. I began to fervently pray that in my life God would have his way. So I set my sights on education. That would become my soul's salvation. I studied Malcolm, I studied Martin, I studied Garvey, and all the great minds that came before me. As a young black man, I knew I needed an education. So I enrolled into Howard University. I studied history and theater. You see, I was already shattering myths, busting stereotypes, and challenging the stigma surrounding mental illness. Upon graduation, to my surprise, I was asked to speak at a White House conference on mental health during the Clinton-Gore administration. Town hall meetings were held and televised all across the country. I was the keynote speaker and in return received a thundering standing ovation. The vice president of the time, Al Gore, was very pleased. And in return, he asked me, what could he do for me? And I said I was interested in going to law school. Would you write me a letter of recommendation to law school? And the second most powerful man in the world wrote me a letter of recommendation to law school. My grades were not stellar enough to get me into law school, but it was an honor to say the least. Over the years, I continued to battle with depression, but I began to accomplish some of my goals. I would become a published author, local television producer, recording artist. I wrote short stories, I produced short film. I worked closely with Gary Clark Sr. for Pep Rally Peace in the Street, providing much needed school supplies for students and feeding the homeless. I would work with the D.C. State Committee, dubbed the Oratorical Beasts of Northeast. I also wrote and produced the Urban Diary, Prominent Speeches of the American Griot. I worked closely with strong black leaders like the Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz in the movement for Black Power. I'm a registered member of the Nation of Islam. I also did a little bit of acting. I landed a small role in a major motion picture with David Allen Greer and Kevin Hart. Over the years, I continued to morph from a charismatic black nationalist leader to aspiring leader on the national stage. In 2022, I officially changed my name from Stephen Silver to Orapotist Maximus, which means the greatest orator, poet, and activist. When my psychiatrist heard that I had changed my name, she laughed for half an hour. My name is Orapotist Maximus, which means the greatest orator, poet, and activist. My buddies call me O. The ladies call me O. I've done a lot of soul searching. I've done a lot of thinking. I've come to to the conclusion that we as a people, we just got to continue to press forward. Continue to press forward. But what do I know? I'm just a poet.